I couldn't find a decent tutorial for UI Search View Controller on the web, so here's my version. Hello. Like many people making these sort of tutorials, I've got a favoured way of doing this, and it's a form of MVVM. The links are in the description for this code, but I'm going to focus on this Setup Search Controller function. And I've set up a view model for it. It's kind of a version of MVVM, but there's a closure here to say the data's changed. And when you're searching, it's not doing a real search. If I type in letters, it comes up with letters, and numbers, it stays as numbers or changes the numbers. Because I'm kind of simulating what would happen if you were using a real API here and downloading, depending on what you changed in the search box. But I'm not going to worry too much about that. It's this setup code. I've performed it in view.did_load, and this means that it's around the same time as I'm setting up the table view. I want it in the ordinary place, so I'm not going to use translates auto resizing mask into constraints. I set up a placeholder. I don't want it to obscure the background, which would make a white, blurred background, I think. The delegate is set to be this view controller, and I'll go through that in a second. I can select a keyboard type. Default's going to do for this silly little example. And I've got a placeholder, and I've set up the appearance with a particular font size. Here I've set a background color for the nav bar, no problem. Here I'm making the nav controller basically have this search controller, because I've set this up in a navigation controller, and I want the search to appear within there, which luckily it does. And it hides when scrolling. So we're able to scroll up and down and it hides. So let's have a look at this delegate function. What am I actually doing? When a text changes to whatever it's changed to, then I go to the search function in the view model. And that's kind of a minimal example of what you'd need to do. I think it's sensible to put this in view.did_load, and all the rest of his code is in the repo, and I'd highly recommend you go and have a look at that. So I know that was fairly fast, but I hope this has helped you out.